Well, the weather not fully cooperating here in Pittsburgh, but that has not stopped Steeler Nation from filling the stands at a rain-soaked Acrisure Stadium. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And it's the defense that's really the star of the show. A terrific game last week. They got a shutout on the road. And that's something that doesn't happen very often nowadays.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season. And we are underway on EA Sports.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense.
They're led out by the son of the Hall of Famer out of Colorado. It's Shedeur Sanders.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
A wet track like this, I don't know if it helps anybody, but it probably helps the offensive player running the ball more than the defense.
And while they're doing that, there's also the matter of focus. Not letting the elements get in the way of still doing everything you're supposed to do. Although you do think to yourself, I've got to hold it a little bit tighter and be more careful with my footing.
He was careful, got a big run out of it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
Jerome Ford, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Browns will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
A good hold of these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
You look at this Browns defense.
They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
And they needed to be, because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Nowhere to go that time. It's a 46-yard punt with a loss on the return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. They will start this drive with Ford. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17.
And he continues to have success running the ball here in the first half as he's already closing in on 100 yards for the game. From the 17, here's 2nd and 4. Here's Sanders.
He finds his man, complete. That's 4. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
This is Ford. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 39-yard line.
2nd down and 4.
Come on, ready.
Now Sanders.
This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first.
And as you saw right there, this is a guy with pretty good speed for a tight end. Nice job there, catching the short throw and turning it upfield. He can also be a weapon downfield as well.
They run with Ford. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
A loss of 2 yards.
To throw now, here's Sanders. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
They'll go. Here's Sanders.
And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite. And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell us end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had. Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Sanders to throw.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
To throw is Sanders. Setting up a screen for Jenkins.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
The tackle made back at the 44-yard line.
Sanders. Throw complete to Bell.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
A gain of 12 yards. Brings up 4th down.
Here we go.
They'll indeed go for it. It's Sanders. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
So now following the roll of the dice, they've got a 1st and 10 inside the 35.
This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Throwing, Sanders. Right back to Njoku.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 16.
That's another Browns.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
David Bell.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. That time, a 9-play drive.
And David Bell closed things out with a touchdown catch.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. That's complete to DK Metcalf.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. To throw, it's Rodgers.
Now wasted time going right back to DK Metcalf.
The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Rodgers. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Rodgers now to throw.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
The partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
A gain of 6 yards.
So, well, we'll move right through the break then, skipping halftime and back to the field for the start of the second half.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter.
And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting more pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now Rodgers. Under pressure, they got him again.
Mason Graham
In there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both first and second down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Rodgers. Man open, that's Ray McCloud. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Browns will take over first and 10. So here are the Browns to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on first and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And his fine afternoon on the ground continues. That last run going to put him over 100 yards for the ball game.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Again, they turn to forward. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he is going to have a Browns first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. Third quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on fourth down? Back to throw. Sanders. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Browns unable to move the chains on fourth down. And that will force a turnover on downs. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on fourth down. They're now 1 for 3 on fourth down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on fourth down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have fourth down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
At the 34-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Short completion, just 4 yards. 3rd and 7 now.
It's a gain of 4. Makes it 3rd and 7.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Green 18.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Mason Graham able to record his 5th sack of the season. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on fourth down. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. On the ground, it's Ford. Oh, he shifts past him. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 144 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Ford. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jerome Ford with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Browns are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
That's good for us Steelers. First down.
To throw is Rodgers.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this.
Oh, and for the first time this season, he's intercepted. Picked up by Martin Emerson. And the Browns are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Let's go, go!
Now a handoff up the middle. Ford. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Third down and 7.
Get ready.
They go play action now. Sanders. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Throwing now is Rodgers.
That's complete to Pierce.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Here's 3rd and 3.
26.
A gain of 10 makes it 3rd.
Here's Rodgers.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Now a 2nd and 10.
Throwing is Rodgers.
And he's got Pierce.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
First down. 1st and 10.
Rodgers going to throw.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Rodgers to throw once more. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
2nd and 10.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Back to throw again. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice, long, soaking hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Result of the play is a turnover on downs.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on.
And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Browns, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.